I'm Lieutenant General Todd Semonite, 54th Chief of Engineers, and we're on the road again. Today we're actually on the river, the Mississippi River, with Colonel Steve Sattinger, the commander of the Rock Island District. Steve, we're out here at lock and dam number 12. You have several locks and dams, but we're right in the middle of a very, very critical replacement of one of the miter gates. So what I want you to do is explain a little bit about what do you have in navigation requirements in your district, and maybe if you could introduce this concept of some degree of standardization in the locks and dams.
Yes, sir. So in the Rock Island District, we have 12 locks and dams on the Mississippi River and another 8 locks and dams on the Illinois River. These miter gates are the critical component that opens and closes so we can pass navigation through. They're old and they needed to be replaced. Rock Island District has some amazing structural engineers and folks in the operations division who about 5 years ago decided we need to replace these 80-year-old pieces of equipment. And they got together and decided there's a way to do it better than we've done it in the past. They standardized the components. They made them easy to replace. They used bolts instead of welds. They used the same bottom and top sills that are the same up and down the river to make it easier to design, easier to do the maintenance on. And we've, over the last 5 years, have bought enough miter gates to do complete changes up and down the river. Today in Bellevue, Iowa, lock and dam 12, like the General said, we've done 3 out of the 4 gates so far. Tomorrow they'll do the last gate here. And this lock and dam will be ready for the next 40 years to pass traffic safely and efficiently.
So Steve, when we built this system, I mean, a lot of these gates were almost custom designed for all these individual locks and dams. We just don't have enough money to be able to have every single lock have its own individual gate. So this idea of standardization now, there's still a couple different designs, but you now have more flexibility so you can stretch your O&M dollars to be able to make this happen.
Right.
You talk about O&M and the guy that's right in the middle of this. I was just with, this is Tom Heinold, he's the head of operations. Tom, just with your guys, an amazing crew you have in ops, and we're also on what's called the heavy lift unit here. You got about 40 guys that are all in, very passionate about what they work. Can you just kind of describe, point out, what is the old gate, what's the new gate, and maybe some of the challenges with doing this replacement?
Roger, sir. So you see this old gate behind me obviously has been in the water for 84 years. It's being rehabilitated along the way a couple of times, but it's just too old and it's got fatigue components. The skin plates have section loss. It just can't function for us anymore. So we're taking it out of the water and replace it with a brand new miter gate. We've got a great crew here. Operations has in-house support, heavy lift crane assets that don't exist on the economy. We've got welders, towboat operators, deckhands, mechanics, machinists, every discipline you can imagine to make this all come together so that we can continue the nation's economy. This is the nation's breadbasket that we feed the world from right here in the upper Midwest. This avenue on the river here is critically important to our economy, and these gates are what make that possible.
And then the other thing is you only have one lock here, so it's a single point of failure. If you have one of these old gates break, you might have barges stacked up for 3 or 4 weeks, is that right?
That's right, sir. The instances of unscheduled outages are increasing, and this is a way to get them to decrease. The reliability of the system here will be reset as a result of the work that's going on today. And you're right, we don't have a detour. If one of these gates fails, a queue builds, and the navigation industry, the corn, the soybeans, the steel, the coal, everything else, the aggregates, everything else that ships on this river that makes our economy tick is at a complete standstill.
And I think the other thing is, and this is how innovative you guys are, is behind over here, this gray gate, this is an old one that you actually took back to your yard and you rehab and you bring it back. But now, not only do we have that capability, but we're actually bringing a brand new gate that's coming in, a lot stronger, better designed, and really allows us to have a lot more resiliency in the system. I would just end by saying, what an amazing team we have. I was up with Shorty up with the crane up there, and just the passion of him, the entire heavy lift unit, everybody here on lock and dam number 12, to be able to make sure that we are keeping this economy going, we're keeping this river moving, even in some unbelievably historic years of high water. So Don, thanks for an amazing job, very well done. Steve, great job is with this district. Just want to tell all of you in the Corps, be proud of our guys out there with the muddiest boots in the Corps. These guys work tirelessly every single day, and they're out here making sure that they're really keeping the Army strong, keeping builders strong, keeping these river systems going. So, from lock and dam number 12, Rock Island District, Lieutenant General Todd Semonite, on the road again.